Who's our NewsNation legal contributor, also anchor and host for the Law and Crime Network. Jesse, thanks for doubling up and tag teaming these stories with me this morning. The optics are so interesting here. You have Cohen talking about this case on TikTok while Trump is under a gag order, can't respond to him, can't respond to anybody. How concerning is that for the prosecution?
I would say the optics are not interesting. They're bad. They're really bad. Let me explain why.
That's a better adjective,
yeah. He's the star witness of this case, which I've said before, I think is an arguably legally weak case. What is the defense going to say about Michael Cohen? That his whole livelihood is built upon criticizing Donald Trump, that he's built a financial livelihood, that he has a financial incentive to go after Donald Trump. That is a huge, huge hit to his credibility. And what is he doing right now? Going on TikTok and doubling down on that? You don't think half of these are going to come into evidence when his Donald Trump's team cross-examines Michael Cohen? The prosecutors must be sweating right now and panicking about this. By the way, Markie, this is why Michael Cohen was not the first witness in this case. No, we saw David Pecker. We know that Michael Cohen's banker is now going to be continuing his testimony today. Yep. They are having witnesses to build up his credibility so that when he finally gets on the stand, the jurors will believe what he has to say, because you don't want him as the first witness since he has all these issues of credibility. It's a disaster for him to do this.
Yeah, and speaking of the witnesses, I mean, taking it back to last week, we heard from three. You had National Enquirer publisher David Pecker, Trump's former executive assistant Rona Graff, and then his former banker Gary Farrow, who we'll hear more from today. Any bombshells there, or Jesse, anyone you thought moved the needle the most for one side or the other?
Well, remember, the prosecution has these building blocks of the case, and this is a business fraud case. So what they're trying to do, it's a lot of documents. It's a lot of a document trail. It's trying to establish these payments happen, and that's why Gary Farrow, Michael Cohen's banker, is key to say he set up these companies rather quickly to try to facilitate these illegal payments to Stormy Daniel. That's what the prosecution would allege. Now, I would say David Pecker was actually quite helpful for the prosecution. A number of things that he said. I think the biggest thing was that he really didn't engage in these catch and kill deals until 2015. And he's known Trump for decades. So the more that the prosecution can say that he paid off Stormy Daniels or that wanted to pay off Stormy Daniels to help him in the election, that is not only how you get a conviction, that's how you get a conviction as a felony, which is what he's being charged here. And I think that David Pecker saying, I thought this was a campaign finance violation, that's huge testimony, because he's somebody who really doesn't have an incentive necessarily to go after Trump. He's not like a Michael Cohen. He has warm feelings towards Donald Trump. Having said that, yes, he did work on an immunity deal, so you could say there's issues of his credibility. But I thought David Pecker was an important first witness. Donald Trump's assistant basically suggested that Stormy Daniels was in his contact list. There was testimony that she might have been in the building, because one of the things the prosecutors have to establish is there was this affair going on, and Donald Trump wanted to cover it up. So we're still in the beginning stages of the prosecution's case, trying to establish all the players and what happened. And
well, I'll be interested to see when the big hitter names come forward, the Michael Cohens, Stormy Daniels. When will we hear from her? Yeah. Jesse Weber, always good to hear from you. Thanks so much. We'll talk again soon.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.